We're here today in the beautiful city of Long Beach, New York. I'm Paul Romanelli, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction for Long Beach Public Schools.
And I'm Patrick Kiley-Rendon, Director of Instructional Technology. In this video that we are introducing, you'll see teachers utilizing technology in their classrooms across the district and implementing innovative teaching practices. Let's start our tour of the district at the elementary level.
We're here in Spirit class, which is an enrichment class for all in all the elementary schools. The students study information literacy, the IB learner profile traits, along with coding. We discussed how computer science is changing everything. Agriculture and fashion, entertainment, and the arts and medicine. They're also working collaboratively in addition to some of the IB traits that we go over here in the Spirit program, which they'll be using in the MYP program in the middle school and the IB program in the high school.
All the simple machines are represented at least one of the stations. So they're using a ramp to represent an inclined plane, different steepness, different angles, which is mathematical. They're using different types of balls to launch from the catapult, like a ping pong ball, a marshmallow, and a cotton ball, and they noticed that different mass will achieve a different effect. So the more times you build something and go back to the drawing board and redesign it, the more it's like a real engineer and learning from your mistakes and redesigning a new and improved version.
You see around us we have 4 different groups working right now. The group to our right is working on Newsella, where we're working on skills that they learned during guided reading and then applying it. The group behind us is taking parent videos from home where we get their perspective of the book we're reading as they're reading along with us at home, and they're responding to them. In the corner, we have our graphic novels, which are being read by our students through the digital library, which is a collection of over 400 texts that students can access. And finally, we have our silent book club, where the students are discussing a book via comments on Google Docs.
Looking towards the future on what schools can be, we really see that is right here. We're seeing it in action, that children are innovative and collaborating together and driving their own learning.
We're combining literature and innovation education. So we're using the green screen in order to allow the children to use technology and combine that with literature pieces and develop their understanding and interview each other about the book that they read. They're developing skills that they'll be able to use as they continue throughout their education. They'll be able to experience and get involved in other technology classes that they have at the middle school and high school level, but giving them the foundation and allowing them to have hands-on experience is really beneficial for them, allowing them to do the recordings themselves.
2, 1, action!
And allows for fostering a early technological background. What we want to do is be able to create an environment where the children can have choice and autonomy and be able to design and develop the way that they want to produce something in their education.
Now let's move our tour to Long Beach Middle School.
Currently, the students are involved in practicing using hand tools in preparation for a contest at the Cradle of Aviation Museum. The competition is a maglev competition where students will make vehicles that float on magnets and race them against other students from competing schools. The general skills that the students will be introduced to: measuring, cutting, the design cycle, problem solving, magnetism, electricity, and in this course we also cover home systems. For example, heating, cooling, and electrical, including plumbing.
They are working on hands-on projects. We were just building catapults, and we were learning about levers while building catapults. We also do different kinds of competitions, like the paper airplane lab and the pasta bridge lab. We also learn how to code and do Photoshop. One of our coding projects that we learned last year in 7th grade was a race car game, and we also do some animations. This year in 8th grade, my STEM students are going to be creating a legacy game. It's the Long Beach Middle School maze game. Students will be able to use the knowledge that they learned from this class, be able to transfer that over to the high school and eventually to their future jobs. They'll become confident using technology, being able to build websites, and in my class we also build resumes. We also will be able to become better problem solvers. And every job you're going to have to learn how to solve problems and make something, fix something, make it better, and hopefully in this class you'll learn how to problem solve.
Bringing them through the design cycle allows them to identify a problem, identify the constraints for that problem, and then bring them through the design cycle to allow them to come up with possible solutions. Currently, they're working on a garden design, which allows us to discuss various topics that involve math and science. Laying out the blueprint for the garden allows us to discuss square footage, allows us to discuss the tools and materials necessary to plant the garden, and allows them to be creative with their design. It's great to see the students take a hands-on approach to this project. Ultimately, the goal is to have that one design that we will plant and actually bring the students outside to plant that garden, get their hands dirty, and actually experience the planting process. Ultimately, in the spring, when the garden blooms, they'll be able to see the project in its full completion.
Finally, we'll visit our Nike Work-Based Learning Center and Long Beach High School.
Virtual Enterprise is a class where students learn real-world job skills. They get jobs all the way down from CEO down to associate positions. They learn skills from payroll, marketing, advertising. We work with creating products and selling the products, website design. The skills that you learn here in Virtual Enterprise are real-world skills that are good for any resume. What we do is we can take the skills that we learn in the classroom and put them into a real-world situation.
The flexible seating has been great for class. It's helped us get kids into groups quickly, efficiently. It's definitely more comfortable for students. What we're finding is that, especially with the class behind me, people rush to class to get to this, pick the seats they want. I think that it's certainly less boring than having classes in rows. As a teacher, it helps me easily navigate the classroom to interact with students and check their work. Group activities are much quicker, more efficient, less wasted time, moving desks back into rows. I think it's more inviting and it's more comfortable overall.
This robotics club, we're going to allow the kids to kind of use some of the hands-on things they've learned in our classes, whether it be automotive, woodworking, or even design, because we're going to be designing a robot to compete against other schools from our area and hopefully move on to the national level.
We have to take a lot of our skills as programmers, a lot of the language that we learn throughout the elementary and the middle school years, and bring that programming skills and bring all the design skills that we've obtained and really apply them in this robotics club.
We think because of the lab that we have here and the metal shop and even our auto shop and all the coding programs that we have available for our students, we think we should be a competitive team.
Jobs in the future are going to be in automation and programming, so I think this is a perfect opportunity to get hands-on experience.
The industry of manufacturing parts for airplanes, ships, and anything along those lines, there are more work out there that we can actually fill with people for those jobs. So the skills that they're going to learn here, fabrication, problem solving, working with metal, machinery, down to the coding and even just some of the clerical aspects of things that we have to do to make the team competitive. It's all stuff they can take directly into the real world. And not to mention some of the companies that help out with First Robotics, their volunteers and the mentors that come from these companies they're also scouting. You know, they're looking for kids that would be a good fit at their own company. And some of these companies are very high level and offer some really awesome careers for the kids to go into, even right out of high school.
Thank you for joining us on our tour throughout our schools. As you can see, in Long Beach, we are focused on innovation and implementing technology in our classrooms to equip our students with skills and experiences they will need for future success.
Thank you to the students and teachers who shared their work with us to make this possible. This entire video has been filmed and edited by our very own TV production students, led by Mr. Eric Crywey at LBHS.
Thanks to the support of our Board of Education and our community, our future is bright in Long Beach.